In the heart of Botswana, there's a sprawling, waterlogged paradise called the Okavango Delta. It's a world of lush floodplains and palm tree islands, a true sanctuary teeming with life. But for one particular pride of lions, this paradise became a prison. When a river suddenly changed its course, it marooned them on an island, trapping them with their most formidable prey, a colossal herd of over 1,000 Cape buffalo. Surrounded by what should have been an endless buffet, the lions started to starve. Every hunt failed. Every strategy was shut down. To survive, this pride had to throw out everything they knew about being a lion. They were forced to develop a radical new strategy, one that would turn them into some of the most powerful lions on the continent. This is the story of how the lions of Duba Plains broke all the rules of nature just to conquer their enemy. Lions are supposed to be the kings of the savannah, masters of the nighttime ambush, but on this isolated island, the night gave them zero advantages. The buffalo, their only real food source, had an instinctive and unbreakable defense. They would cluster together in a vigilant, 1,000-strong mega herd, a moving fortress of pure muscle and horn. At night, when lions are meant to rule, the buffalo would form a tight circle, their heads and massive, deadly horns facing outward. It was an impenetrable shield wall, a fortress of living tanks that no predator could dream of breaching. The lion's usual playbook was completely useless. You could feel the pride, hunger, and desperation hanging in the humid air. They were outmaneuvered, outmatched, and on the verge of being wiped out completely. The stage for this incredible evolutionary arms race is the Duba Plains, a remote and stunningly beautiful corner of the Okavango Delta. When the river's path shifted, it created an island, cutting the local lions off from the mainland. And who was stuck there with them? The Cape buffalo, one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. A single one, weighing up to 870 kilograms and armed with deadly horns, is a huge challenge. A herd of over 1,000? That's a force of nature. At first, the lions tried what they knew. They stalked the water holes at dawn and dusk, hoping to pick off a straggler. But the buffalo adapted almost immediately. They moved as one massive unit, a sea of watchfulness that left no opening for an ambush. The lions would follow the herd for days, probing for any weakness, but they found nothing. The night, which should have been their greatest ally, became a time of constant failure. The buffalo's horn fortress was the perfect counter-strategy to the lion's stealth attacks. It was a total checkmate. For the Duba pride, starvation wasn't just a threat anymore. It was a certainty. They were kings of a kingdom where they couldn't rule. Their survival depended on finding a new way to hunt, on breaking a pattern that had defined their species for thousands of years. When your greatest strength becomes your biggest weakness, you can either fade away or adapt. The Duba pride chose to adapt. Since the night now belonged to the buffalo's impenetrable defense, the lions had to find a time when those defenses were weaker. The answer wasn't in the shadows, but in the broad, unforgiving light of day. In a complete reversal of their natural instincts, the lions started hunting in the midday heat. They literally flipped their biological clocks. They started sleeping at night, when the buffalo were resting and on high alert, and hunted during the day while the herd was moving and grazing. For a lion, this is an incredibly risky move. They aren't built for prolonged daytime activity and can easily overheat, but their island prison gave them an unexpected advantage: water. The delta was a maze of deep channels and cool, swampy wetlands. The lions began to use the water not just to drink, but as a weapon. It became their cover and their cooling system. Here's the thing: lions aren't natural swimmers. But the Duba lions learned to master the water out of sheer necessity. They'd wade chest-deep through the channels, a skill unheard of in other prides, using the water to hide their approach and keep their bodies cool. This wasn't some ancient technique passed down for generations. It was a revolutionary new behavior born on the brink of extinction. With their new strategy, the Duba pride went from savanna stalkers to amphibious assassins. The water was their greatest weapon. A typical hunt became a masterpiece of patience, coordination, and brute force. They'd trail the buffalo herd during the day, using the winding channels to stay hidden, with only their heads visible above the surface. The water muffled their sounds and masked their scent, letting them get unbelievably close to the 1,000-strong herd. But this was never a simple chase. It was a highly coordinated tactical assault. The pride, which grew to around 30 lions at its peak, worked like a special ops team. A few lions might create a diversion on one side, drawing the attention of the powerful bulls. In the chaos, another group would launch the real attack, aiming to separate a younger or weaker buffalo from the herd's protection. They would then methodically drive their target towards the water. Once in the channels, the buffalo's powerful charge was useless. It struggled for footing in the mud, while the lions, now experts in this aquatic battlefield, held all the cards. The final moments were a chaotic explosion of water and fury. But the risk was always immense. A single kick from a struggling buffalo or one wrong move could result in a fatal goring. And here's the crazy part. Their failure rate was incredibly high, with some estimating over 70% of hunts were unsuccessful. But for the Duba lions, giving up wasn't an option. They had to just keep trying, again and again, until they succeeded. This high-risk, high-reward strategy had a profound effect on the lions themselves. A steady diet of protein-rich buffalo meat fueled incredible growth. Over time, the lions of the Duba pride became physically different from their savanna-dwelling relatives. They were noticeably larger, stronger, and more muscular. While the average male lion in southern Africa weighs around 190 kilograms, the males of the Duba pride grew to be some of the largest lions documented, with some weighing in at over 240 kilograms. Their bodies were literally sculpted by their unique lifestyle. The constant swimming and wrestling with powerful prey gave them incredibly developed shoulders and forequarters. They became the undisputed heavyweights of the lion world, true swamp kings built for power. While other lion prides in Africa might occasionally hunt buffalo, none have ever specialized to this degree. The famous elephant-hunting lions of Savuti, for example, also adapted to unique pressures, but the Duba pride's complete reversal of their day-night cycle and mastery of water is a testament to their incredible flexibility. They didn't just learn to hunt a new animal. They completely reinvented what it means to be a lion. The story of the Duba pride is a powerful lesson in adaptation in a world that never stops changing. They were pushed to the absolute edge of survival and responded by completely rewriting the rule book. The intense pressure from the buffalo forced them to abandon their nocturnal nature, embrace the water, and transform into a new kind of predator. By breaking down their enemies' defenses, they found a path not just to survival, but to total dominance. Today, the Okavango Delta continues to evolve. In recent years, rising water levels have brought in easier prey like the red lechwe antelope, and the lions, true to their adaptable nature, have once again shifted their focus. The intense daily war with the buffalo has eased, but the legend of the buffalo hunting swamp lions remains a thrilling chapter in the great book of nature, and a profound reminder that in the wild, survival belongs not always to the strongest, but to those who are most willing to change. If you found this story of animal ingenuity incredible, subscribe to our channel for more amazing wildlife stories. And let us know in the comments what other incredible hunting strategies you'd like to see covered next.